Holy smokes. Where did that come from? The Jets win 30-6. Zack Wilson having himself a day. The best game of the young quarterback's career. Very fun to watch. We actually got to see some offensive firepower. Dude, going into the half, 0-0. We were talking about what do you think the final score of the game is going to be? I said 0-0 tie. No one's going to score. We put on 30 points in the second half. Who's this team? What'd you do with the Jets? Where have they been the last 8 weeks to the year or whatever? This is wild. All right. I'm feeling pretty good. Pretty nice. I've got Robert Saleh's press conference pulled up. I have Zack Wilson's press conference pulled up. So once they come to the podium, I will pull that up and we'll watch it live together. But overall, I'm perplexed. I watched a good day of football. Now, first half was pouring rain, so not a whole lot of offensive production overall from either side. But Zack Wilson looked pretty good. Tell me, maybe you should have put his back against the wall a little bit earlier because he's throwing darts all over the field. Zack Wilson finishes 27 of 36, 301 yards, 2 touchdowns. He did have 13 yards on the ground. He did have the 1 fumble. That was the one mistake of his throughout the day. But I'll be honest, I don't care about the fumble. He was going for it on a gutsy play to try and get a first down. I thought that was the correct move by him to do it. He just got popped, with the ball coming out. So unfortunate mistake, but overall a very, very good game from Zack Wilson. Let's go over to Salah and the press conference.
Really thought the offense came out of the locker room. Felt like we were doing a good job moving the ball in the first half. Obviously, we weren't generating points, but we had some opportunities. But the second half, I thought Zack probably played the best game of his career. Just the off-schedule stuff, the timing and rhythm, and getting the ball out to where it needed to get to, being aggressive but smart at the same time. Scrambled. I know he had the scramble, but just the aggressiveness, the scramble, and he was out there having a good time, and he made a lot of things happen that weren't there. So hats off to him. I thought he was outstanding today. And then defensively, against that quarterback, who I have high regard for him. CJ's going to be a really good football player in this league. Thought again our front handled it. Our back end was sticky, made it hard for him, and then special teams obviously did their thing.
Sprinkle some love on Zack Wilson, Mr. Salah.
He was pissed off a little bit. You wish you pissed him off a little earlier?
I don't know. Everything happens. The timing and reasoning, who knows? But 4 more of those, and it'll be pretty good.
It looked like when you came out in the second half, it looked like there was a concerted effort to try to be more aggressive. I think the first 4 first downs were pass plays. Could you talk about that? And
yeah. For sure. We were able to convert some third downs in the second half that allowed for drives to extend, but thought Hackett was aggressive. I thought it was a really good game plan, and it was one of those games where all these beautifully designed plays, and we're just not going to be left in the bag. It just let it out, just let the bag loose and see what happens. And again, I thought Conklin made a couple of huge third down conversions, going up and get the ball. Garrett was outstanding. Xavier Gibson scored, Cobby scored, but I thought the protection held up enough. There's things we can be better there, but overall, I just again the combination of staying on the gas, being aggressive, and Zack, like I said, he was unbelievable.
Zack created so many plays today.
Obviously, this is the 10th different lineup you've had this year.
They battled. They battled big time, and there's always going to be things that need to clean up, but overall, I thought they did an admirable job.
For you guys entering the final stretch here, just in terms of regaining some confidence after the struggles you've had lately?
Yeah, it's a week-to-week league. Chaos or what's the word? Disaster, whatever you said. But, yeah, euphoria. And we just got to take it week to week. Don't get too high, don't get too low, but at the same time try to capture what it felt like on the field to be aggressive, capture what it felt like in the booth to call the plays that were being called, capture what it was on the sideline, and try to capitalize not only on that, but just to build off of it and continue to find ways to get better. And we got 4 more of these to make the best of it. There's a lot of young guys getting a lot of playing time, and I thought for the most part we were really good, especially in that second half.
How did it feel just to get that in this winning streak?
The losing streak? It's always good. No, you're good. It's always good to win in the NFL.
Seems like that third down play where Zack kind of threw it across to the middle and Garrett went up. That's probably, the ideal of what you wanted there, right? Out of ref and all that.
No, it's a fine line because I understand the confusion, but let it rip. It's just trust yourself. Don't be a hero means knowing enough is enough, and being boring is being okay to, just a whole lot of verbiage. But I thought he had great balance today. He was aggressive, but he was smart. Taking the checkdowns when he could, but being calculated with his opportunities. And he was, like I said, he was outstanding. Hopefully he can find ways to build off this one.
Stroud came in here leading the NFL in passing yards. What did you guys do against him to stop him today?
Shut him the
again,
fuck down.
The Brick, the staff, players. I know it hurt them a lot losing Nico Collins, but I thought our corners were gloving it. Our D-line was getting after it, but we were sounding the back end. Did our best to try to mix up our coverages and took advantage of. And whether he was a little bit off or not, who knows? But I thought our guys were outstanding again up front, just applying a lot of pressure to. I think we had 5 sacks on the day, if I'm not mistaken. But just applying pressure and getting him on the ground. That's kind of been, credit to their offensive line. They do a really good job. They've been protecting him very well, and felt like if we could just touch him a few times, it might change it. And so credit to the D-line getting after it a little bit.
Talk about your Cook Hall usage and the way you use them. Cook started. I don't know if there's anything meaningful to that, or
no. Brees is dealing with a few things, so we're just being judicious in how we use them. But this is Brees's team, and he's a star running back. But at the same time, we're just trying to be smart with him.
How effective was he as a weapon in the passing game today?
Oh, he was great. I mean, God, how many explosives did he have? Just coming out of the backfield, he had a touchdown, and again, I thought he ran with purpose today. Again. And when he runs the way he does, he's ultra hard to tackle and ultra hard to contain. And a couple of times I thought he was going to break one, but he was another one. He was really good today.
Injuries. I know Tippin left the game a little bit later on, like he came out.
He came back in. I know Max is dealing with something. I'll have more for you guys tomorrow, but he should be good.
What are some of the things you'll focus on as you take on Miami for next week, them being the leading in the league?
No, for sure. Obviously, we just saw him a couple weeks ago, so there's a lot of things to learn off of. But at the same time, just it's got to be about us and just making sure that we take the things that we've been focusing on, especially over the last couple of weeks, and just continue to find ways to improve and harness and hone in on the details that make football special. And again, just find ways to improve on, especially on what we did today.
Last one. Is there a chance that we could see Aaron next week? Is that something you ruled out, or something possible?
He's in rehab, so I really don't have an answer for you on that one. But like I said before, I wouldn't hold my breath. All right. Thanks, guys.
Zach.
All right. So that was Robert Salah and his press conference. Once Zach gets up to the podium, we'll talk about that. But, oh, man, sprinkle some love on Zack Wilson's name. This feels good. Whoa. Got stuff going off in my ear right now. Put some love on Zack Wilson's name. 300 yards, 2 touchdowns. Who was the number 2 overall pick? Was it C.J. Stroud or was it Mr. Zack Wilson? Right? Let's take that roller coaster. Here's Zach. We got Zach's press conference coming up right now.
Yeah, we always go in with the expectation to do that, especially as an offense. Our defense has done unbelievable all year, but that's the goal every week. And I thought everyone did a great job of coming together. I thought everyone battled. We played for each other. The love and respect we have in that locker room for one another is unmatched. And, we all got each other's back. And just proud of the guys for showing up and being ready to go today.
What do you like best about the way you played today?
I think the word I gave you guys about being aggressively smart is the key, right? It's taking shots when you feel like there's an opportunity there, and when there's not, how you protect the ball and check it down, and having a mixture of both.
Robert called that what he believes probably your best game of your career. Would you agree?
We'll go back and watch. I mean, like I said to you guys, the flow of just playing football today, was there. And I can't say it's been like that a lot, unfortunately, in my career here. And that's what we're searching for right there, is just playing ball, just moving the football, just completing passes. And, that's what we're always hunting for. And I thought an unbelievable job by everybody. I thought Hack called a great game as well. And, but always things I'm going to want back. I can think of some in the moment, but, we'll watch the film and see.
Third down play, Zach, where you threw across the Garrett. what kind of did you feel, the rush, and what did you see on that play?
Yeah, I felt the guy get the edge a little bit on that side, so I kind of was just setting him up to get out the back door there. And I originally flipped my hips to look for Allen, and I kind of felt the safety run over the top of him, and I knew I had the in cut from Garrett. It's one of those you don't really want to throw the ball back across the middle very often, but I thought I had a pretty good look at it, being a clean picture. So, let's be aggressive and take a shot.
Is that the kind of play you're describing, being smart and aggressive?
Yeah, I mean, as a coach, you're always like, don't throw those, and sometimes they go the other way. And, so for me, it's throw it when you believe it's there, trust in it, and sometimes bad plays are going to happen, but you have to be able to trust in those and let them rip. And, it's part of football.
Trusting for you to have a game like this after everything, everything you've been through, of course, to talk the way you're talking up there right now.
Yeah, it's exciting, but, we still got 4 left, and my focus is on the guys and how we can grow from this and how we can keep pushing and stack this win. And, we got to use it for next week. We need to understand that this is the standard, and, but we're going to enjoy this one.
That play we were just talking about with Garrett, where you said trusting it. Sometimes it doesn't go your way, sometimes it does. Is taking those chances something that maybe you had lost a little bit? The fear of what might go the wrong way, and now to get back to being the aggressive player you used to be?
I don't think so. I mean, sometimes you have to get a feel with the flow of the game, right? When you're constantly moving the ball and you're hitting the easy ones, it's easier to make those big plays when you're making the easy ones. When your offense is pretty stagnant and we're not doing a lot, and then you start pressing and trying to get those big ones, most of the time it becomes bad things. So it's like you need to get the easy ones first. You need to show that you can move the ball efficiently first, and then those other ones will come.
Great answer by Zach to that question.
Including the first one, where you get across midfield and then you kind of stalled out. Do those drives give you confidence that you guys are moving the ball, or do they decrease the confidence because you're not scoring?
Yeah, confidence, because we understand that where we can move the ball on them, but frustration at the same time, because I was in field goal range and got sacked, and I know I got to find somewhere to get rid of the ball, and but frustration because with how we had points right there. But yeah, I would say confidence on every drive that we expected to go down and move it.
How comforting is it having a guy like Brees as a safety valve?
Yeah, unbelievable. That dude's an absolute stud. I can't talk about him enough. I mean, the amount of times I just look at him like, hey, be ready, this one's coming to you. Hey, watch out on this right side. I'm gonna get it to you quick here if this isn't there. Whatever it is, he does an unbelievable job of understanding what we're trying to do back there. And what a great safety valve, right? You get it to him at 2 or 3 yards, he'll take it for 40.
What have you learned the past few years about not paying attention to the external factors, and how were you able to do that today? Because obviously there was a lot of external stuff coming into this game.
Yeah, it's been 3 years where it's been challenging, obviously, but I think it's focusing on the ones that truly matter, keeping my circle tight, understanding that the guys that truly matter are the ones in there battling, going through it with me, and they all got my back, and so how can I give everything I got? I play this game because I love to compete. I love to play. I love the thrill of making the big throws and winning football games, and that's truly the reason I play this game. And it's exciting when you're able to do that as a unit, and it's easy to ignore all of the noise when you're able to go and do that stuff. So
I know the win's the most important thing, but 300 throwing for 300 yards. Your thoughts on that?
Yeah, obviously, I think it speaks to how impressive it was as an offense. No doubt. I thought Hack called a great game. I thought he was aggressive. I thought he trusted me to make good decisions down the stretch, and then how many of those throws that I just put up and let guys make plays. I think those guys did an unbelievable job of, yards after catch, or even just going up and making 50-50 plays, and especially in the conditions it was dumping on us out there. But they did a great job of making some of those plays.
Thanks, everyone. Thanks.
Wow, very good press conference. Good answers all the way around from Zack Wilson. This was good. Oh, it feels good to have a nice win. Feels good to see Zack Wilson play well, too. Look, I don't know what the future is going to hold for Zack Wilson. I still think there's a legitimate shot he's back next year as quarterback 3, But if there's any truth to some of the rumors that we heard kicked around that he was, looking for, not to play, and maybe they've agreed to look for a trade come the offseason, I don't know where this all ends up, but at the very least, this is a good game for a young quarterback that helps build his either trade value or build up some morale in the locker room. I love that the offense was actually clicking today. It felt like Zach created so many plays. How many times was Becton getting blown past on the left-hand side, and Zach just does a quick little spin and gets out of it, or, breaks out of the pocket? There are plays that would not have been made if Tim Boyle or Trevor Siemian were under center. I mean, heck, even Aaron Rodgers. There's probably some Aaron Rodgers, mobility issues that Zack Wilson was able to overcome. Zack Wilson had himself a very nice game today. Let's go over some of the stats, and then I'll go into your comment questions. Zack Wilson finishes the day 27 of 36, 301 yards, 2 touchdowns. He did have 13 yards on the ground. He did have the 1 fumble. The fumble I don't care about because it was an effort play. He was trying to get a first down on a long, I think it was 3rd down at the time. Unfortunate fumble, but not a game breaker. It was the only time that points, the only thing that I guess led to Texans scoring. And then obviously they missed the extra point on the ensuing extra point afterwards. Top rusher, Breece Hall, 3.9 yards a carry, 10 carries, 39 yards. He also had 8 carries for 86 yards and a touchdown. So in total, Breece Hall had about 130 yards or so, 120 some odd yards. I think it's 130 yards, 135 yards or something along those lines. Very big day from Breece Hall. Garrett Wilson winding up the top receiver, 9 receptions, 108 yards. He doesn't get a touchdown, but he's had so many critical catches. The one they mentioned with Zach running to his left after. So he gets flushed out of the pocket because Becton gets blown past. Zach spins around, runs out to the left-hand side, rips it across his body. That was the damn pro day throw to Garrett Wilson. That's why you drafted him number 2 overall. That was the type of play you want to see. So Garrett Wilson, 108 yards. Tyler Conklin, 4 receptions, 57 yards. Thought he had a big game today. 2 or 3 really nice big 3rd down catches. 2 up the seam, 1 along the left-hand side, I believe. Jeremy Ruckert had a nice little day with 37 yards. Cobb gets a touchdown. I'll be honest, when I saw the first touchdown from Cobb, I was like, you know what? It's good to get in the end zone. I really wish it didn't go to Cobb. I don't really want to win games with players I don't think as young building blocks, but the rest of the game put my mind at ease there. Dalvin Cook had a little bit of a rough time. I don't know why we're running Dalvin Cook up the middle all the time. It doesn't seem to work every time we do it. DJ Reed had himself a great game today. DJ Reed had 4 tackles. I don't know how many passes deflected he had, but he was all over the field. I thought Sauce had a pretty nice game as well. Props to the defense. How many sacks did they end up having? 1, 2, 3, 4. It looks like 4 sacks, I think is what I'm seeing here. Not too shabby. Current Rookie of the Year candidate, current, I guess, on the fringe MVP candidate, CJ Stroud held to 91 yards, under 50% completion percentage. This Jets defense put the clamps on another elite quarterback this year. That's Patrick Mahomes. That's Josh Allen. That's Jalen Hurts, CJ Stroud. The list goes on and on. This defense is absolutely incredible on a week-in, week-out basis. Their top rusher, 13 carries, 65 yards, and a touchdown for Devin Singletary. He did have 5 yards a carry. Their top receiver had 35 yards. In total, the Jets, 3rd down efficiency, 6 of 15, and they were 1 for 1 on 4th downs. That was a nice play that Hackett drew up with Garrett Wilson doing the jet sweep. I thought they weren't even going to snap the ball. I was like, oh, they're just trying to call them off sides. They're going to get them, leaning back on their heels, and it doesn't matter. Nothing's going to happen. We're going to wind up kicking it away. And then lo and behold, they snap and they hand it off to Garrett. Great play call. Great execution. Thought that was a fantastic play. 6 for 15 on 3rd down. Like to see it go up a little bit more, but that's much better than the 2 or 3 3rd down conversions that we've been getting. The Texans, 0 for 3 on 4th down and 1 for 12 on 3rd down. Oh, man, smacking them around. We forced them into 8 punts. Penalties still wind up being an issue for the Jets. although the ones today weren't absolutely critical. I think there was one in there that was like a pretty damning one, but 8 penalties for 52 yards. There was a few like false starts, a delay of game. That probably doesn't include some of the declined penalties either, if I had to guess, because there was a on purpose delay of game at the beginning part of the game where Morstead was ready to punt and D'Amico Ryans declined the penalty. He's like, oh no, screw that. That was an on purpose delay a game. I'm not going to give you the 5 yards you want. I'm going to decline it. You're going to kick it the same way you didn't want to punt. And it goes into the end zone. D'Amico Ryans with a great call on that particular decline of a penalty. Very cool. Look, this was a fun game to watch. This is what you hope for when you're watching Jet football. I don't want to see these 3 or 6 point games. I want to see something that's at least a little exciting. And going to half, I was terrified at what I thought we were going to see. Absolutely terrified. Boys and girls, I'm feeling pretty good about this. Look, the first half, so I make notes on each offensive drive. Defensively, I feel like I don't necessarily have to worry too much. First drive, move the ball well. Zach takes bad sack on third down, kills a field goal attempt. So that was upsetting. Becton gets a hold on the second drive, wipes out a first down from Brees, ends the drive. Third down, we converted a fourth down, had a long catch to Brees, but then Becton misses a blows up Brees in the backfield by 5 yards, kills the drive. Fourth drive, 3 and out, fumble on a punt recovery. Of course, it's recovered by Adrian Amos, who we just let go this past week. It would have been inside the 5. Jets would have had the ball. It would have been absolutely wild. Fifth drive, 3 and out, no challenge on a Garrett Wilson catch that was on 3rd and 9. I thought he had possession, but I think we didn't throw the challenge flag there because Salah challenged a play earlier in the half, and that would have wasted his last challenge if it didn't go correctly. And at that point, it was a 0-0 game. So I think that's probably why we did not challenge that play. Sixth drive, we kneel it. We go into halftime. And then coming out of the half, touchdown to Cobb, touchdown to Gibson. Ninth drive, Zack Wilson is driving us down the field. He has the first down on that scamper and winds up fumbling the ball. Unfortunately, that goes towards points the other way. 10th drive, touchdown to Brees, and then drives 11, 12, 13, field goal. I love how this team came out of halftime. Seeing the halftime adjustments, whatever they had to do or say in there, was absolutely awesome. Radimus Prime comes in, says, put some effing respect on Zach's name. He lost his voice. I love it. Allison comes in with a gifted Jets Talk 24/7 membership. Boys and girls, drop some JETS in the chat for our newest member of the channel. Thank you. Oh, sorry, Austin. Thank you, Austin. Brian Bogue, what's up, Brian? Brian says, I don't know how Stroud came back in after that brutal roughing call on Quinnen. Dude, that was outrageous. Now, Quinnen should not extend his arms. He was clearly released the ball. There's no reason to put your hands on him. He absolutely drew that penalty for no good reason. Now, I don't think it should have been thrown. I don't think that was remotely. Now, look, if Stroud fell down or he it was out of bounds or something overall, very limp dick kind of fucking penalty, if you're asking me. I don't like seeing that particular one called. There was a hit on another play, and I don't remember which one it was, but overall, this was the referees from this game last week. Packers Chiefs didn't call the pass interference. It was also the same crew that called the no pass interference in the NFC Championship game against the Saints and the Rams, the most egregious penalty. This has been a horrible officiating crew for multiple years now, and the NFL should be keeping their eyes on them. I saw a report saying they were going to do that. Crossfire says, what in the actual hell? How did we win by that much? Yo, I don't know. Did the Texans forget to get off the plane? What happened here? Who put Aaron Rodgers in a Zack Wilson costume? Because Zack Wilson looked legit today. Oreo comes in. Oreo says, if the Jets are serious, you have to beat Miami. Schedule is favorable after Zack Wilson wins the fans back with a win. Do you prefer to win out or draft high? So I have no idea what our, let's take a look at the Tankathon thing just real quick. I'm so excited about the win. I'm not even necessarily looking at the Tankathon stuff. But look, I'll be honest. If we can win, I'm fine winning as long as it looks good with the young players. I don't want to win games that are winning because of Cobb or Dalvin Cook or guys that aren't going to be here. So, grain of salt, I guess. I would love to see an opportunity where the right teams wind up losing and the Jets have some sort of, playoff potential thing that could happen towards the end of this season. I want nothing more than to have positive vibes going into the offseason. So I'll say that. Right now, the Jets are sitting at the 8th pick in front of us right now. So it's Bears at 1, New England 2, Arizona 3, Washington 4, Giants 5, Tennessee Titans 6, Bears 7, Jets 8, Raiders from Las Vegas at 9, Chargers at 10. So I guess depending on how those games go, the Jets could be sitting at 9 if the Raiders lose, because the Raiders have an easier strength of schedule than the New York Jets. But look, I'm going to be rooting for wins. I'm pretty numb to how everything's going at this particular point in the season, but I'll take the victories. I definitely will. Sleepy Chode. What's up, Sleepy Chode? Thank you so much for gifting a membership. Very much appreciated. Boys and girls, drop some JETS in the chat for our newest member. All right. I want to do some phone calls. So let's do this. I'm going to put the link in the live chat. You guys can call in. I'm going to give you guys 2 minutes on the clock. Oh, and I see you guys, a bunch of you guys clicked in the poll chat too. Are you guys going to watch my new show 3 and Out over on Roundtable Sports? Head over to Roundtable Sports, hit the subscribe button. It goes live on Monday at 7:30. So very excited to do that. But call-in number is on the screen. I want to hear from you guys. How are you guys feeling? We got a fun one coming up here. He's been calling in for a little bit now, little bit of time, even before I threw it up on the screen. You guys know him. That's right. We got Connor joining the show. Connor, how you doing tonight?
That was fun.
Right? It's about damn time.
Yeah, I mean, we expected that to be like week in and week out after the offseason we had bringing in Rodgers. I just want to see more of that. I'm rooting for wins. I don't want us to tank.
Yeah, that was, look, pleasantly surprised. I would love nothing more than to know this offense going into next year is definitely better than what we saw this year. That makes me feel so much better. What did you think of Zach's performance, Connor?
I thought he played great. I mean, he had the fumble, but I don't take that away from his performance today. I mean, 300 yards, 2 touchdowns, no interceptions. He played great. It can only help him whether we keep him next season or trade him.
100% agree. What did you think about, the way CJ Stroud performed? Defense held him to under 100 yards. I thought it was just an outstanding performance by the defense. We just got in his head. The weather certainly helped a little bit, but just feels good. Feels good.
Yeah, I thought the defense did a great job of stopping CJ Stroud, the defensive line. I think Solomon Thomas has had such an underrated season this year. I don't mind if we bring him back next year. Like, everyone's going to say, oh, 3rd-round pick from the Niners, such a bust, terrible career. But I think he's having such a good season right now with us.
Oh, dude, he's had such a good year. I really like Solomon Thomas. I think he'll want to stay with Salah, so I hope we do bring him back. I mean, between him, Quentin Jefferson, Huff has another sack today. Quinnen looked like an animal. This team is not giving up. Like, there is no, let off the gas mentality when it very easily could have over the last few weeks, especially this last week with all the drama going on. I thought it was really nice to see them stick together.
Yes, I thought Gibson's touchdown reminded me what I was saying earlier about how he could use him more like Malik Neighbors. I do want to see Irvin Charles get involved in the offense a little more, rather Cobb. I mean, Cobb's like 38, 40. Like, he's not going to impact our future. He scored a touchdown, but I would have rather seen any other receiver other than Lazard score the touchdown.
I completely agree. I'm not a big Cobb fan. Don't want to see him get too many opportunities. Connor, thank you so much for your insight. Been ejected from the cockpit. All right, let's go over to Big Stick. Nick, how you doing, brother? How you feeling about that?
What's up, Ryan?
I'm hanging in there. I'm feeling pretty good. It was nice to watch actual football today.
Oh, it was nice. I was actually at the game. We actually had to leave because we had to let the dog out. But
tell me you left at halftime 0-0.
Yeah, of course. Oh! Of course. Of course.
Oh, of course it works out like that, right?
That's life, right? As a Jet fan, right?
I hear you.
But It's interesting. We actually luckily got upgraded onto the Texans sideline, which we thought was going to end up being the winning sideline, the way this is going. It's interesting hearing some of the chatter that goes on when you're, reasonably close.
Mm-hmm.
They were talking a lot of crap the whole game. Even their backup, it might have been their punter or their third string quarterback was like, hey, they got to go for it on 4th down. It's first quarter, 5 minutes left. He's like, that's what they got to do to win the game. And they're very overconfident mentality and things like that. It's nice to see. I have to say, like, Zach made good throws. He made good decisions, good throws. Even some of the incomplete passes, he's making some sidearm throws that are accurate. He probably played his best game. I really wish he didn't get that fumble just to have a clean game for his confidence.
Yeah, I think it's still going to be a pretty clean game for him. I mean, I think most fans would look at that play and say, hey, it was good that he took off and ran and he was willing to take the hit and everything. It sucks the ball got punched out. Like, I'm okay taking that fumble if he has the rest of what today was.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, what's his second 300-yard game for him?
I was going to say, I think he had 300 once and then he had 301 today. So I think this is technically his best game.
But that goes back to the game plan, right? Like, Brees and Garrett Wilson have to be 60 to 70% of the offense. And I think winning teams do that with their star players in general. Why did it take to week 13 to start doing some of this stuff?
Oh, dude, I don't know. Big Stick Nick, thank you so much for the call. You've been ejected from the cockpit. Dude, I don't know why it took so long for the New York Jets to come out and actually do something on offense, because it looked like Brees and Garrett were running wild. You had Conklin getting involved. Oh, Zach making plays. I feel like there's some new breath of energy in there. Now, can the Jets do it against Miami? That's going to be a huge question. Let's go over to Lima Bean. Lima Bean, how you doing tonight, dude?
It's good to see a win, man. Like, it's just, this is why I told you, like, I don't want to see them tank. It's like, I can't do that to, like, Garrett and, like, Sauce and all. You saw how happy they were? Like, they were, like, hugging. They were, like, it was like Christmas came early for them today, Like, it just, I can't, I just want them to win for themselves and to, like, progress things. I don't know what things will go this season, but at least for the following season or something, Like, it was good to see them win. Hell, we made C.J. Stroud look like David Carr, Like, that's what it felt like. Just, I don't know. And as for Zach, like, I was happy to see him do good. Like, obviously, I don't know his future here or wherever it is. I mean, chances are he probably won't be this guy constantly, but hell, for like one game, it was good to see like he get it. So if we need to piss him off to do it, then like somebody should have told him like Shohei Ohtani was on the plane to the Jets or something like that. It would have really got him going or something.
Oh, dude, I saw some memes about that. Like, oh, Ohtani going to the Jets, going to be quarterback, throwing after Tommy John surgery. It's like,
but like look at DeMarco Ryans, everyone's darling. It's like, yo, when he doesn't have a quarterback, he looks as bad as every other coach out there, man. It's literally a quarterback league, and it's just and when we had our quarterback, well, I mean, we don't, but like when Zach played like competent, like we did good. And yeah, I just hope we continue to win. Like, it's going to be hard out there. Like, we got the Flacco Bowl coming up and all that stuff. It's like, we got to remind him that he can't run. Like, we got to sack the hell out of him. But like, I just hope we keep winning. I don't know what it is, but we need Garrett to get out there. You saw the graphic where he had, the most receptions and yards for the first 2 years of wide receiver for the Jets.
Yeah,
like,
153 receptions or something like that. And
like,
I think,
he's so good, man. If Aaron Rodgers, he'd probably be like top tier. Like,
it's unreal the potential that Garrett Wilson and Brees Hall have. Like, once Aaron Rodgers returns, and I do think we need some offensive line help because I don't think Aaron's doing some of the maneuvers that Zach was able to do today.
No, but we just need to run the ball better too somehow. But just let's keep winning. I enjoyed today's win. I could like sleep happy today and just enjoy that Juan Soto news and all that stuff. It's just all good.
I love it. Lima Bean, you've been ejected from the cockpit. All right. Look, I'm feeling pretty good. For someone who's definitely been down on Zach, especially recently, I mean, I've been saying he's the best quarterback on the team as far as like him and Simeon now. I did want to see Simeon play originally. Clearly he was booty cheeks. Zack Wilson, not booty cheeks today. Zack Wilson, clap booty cheeks today. That's what happened today. Zack Wilson looked really good. It felt good, especially after the week he had. He has been getting ripped apart by New York media, by fans, by players around the league. This very much feels like a nice little rebound game. I would love to see them do it against Miami. There is nothing I want more than to put Miami in their place. I want to knock them off their high horse, smack them around a little bit. Don't let Tyreek Hill get any yards. I want to be, if there's one game I could win the rest of the year out, one game, it's Miami. I really want to make their fans like all sorts of frustrated. Really, really annoying. Boys and girls, we're going to go over to more of your comment questions. I just want to show you a new trailer for a show that's going to be coming out over on Roundtable Sports. This is going to be hosted by myself. It's called 3 and Out. Take a look at it. Go hit subscribe over on Roundtable Sports. It airs this Monday, 7:30. Welcome to 3 and Out, the interactive NFL game show where viewers like you get to decide which of your favorite content creators get benched and which ones move on in the ultimate competition. All right, boys and girls, let's head over to some of your comment questions. Pull this up real quick. We got Nose Kills coming in. Thank you so much, Nose Kills, for the super chat. He says, last 10 minutes, I was just waiting for a starter to blow an Achilles. Phew, Zach made it off the podium with both heels intact. Right? I'm sitting there saying, we're having too much success. When's this other shoe dropping? Something's got to happen. Someone's going to get frustrated. I don't know where it's going to go. But it felt like someone needed to get hurt. Someone needed to get sacrificed for the amount of fun we were having today. And it didn't happen. Didn't happen. Jets looking all right. Radis Prime says, Zach, the booty cheek clapper. Ed Stewart says, exactly. Especially didn't have to worry in the last 2 minutes of the game. Yeah, it's nice not to have to sweat it too bad. Bacon says, Becton is hard to watch. Can't deal with fast pass rusher. So he is dealing with a little bit of an injury. He wasn't listed on the injury report, though. So I feel like he just had a bad game more than anything else. He got beat a lot. And like we should have had far more sacks than we did with 4. If you had Boyle or Simeon back there, I think you're probably looking at another 2 to 3 sacks. Zach was able to get away from a lot of it. Adrian says, Zach didn't get protection. What game did you see? This was all Zach. He is a star. So I definitely think Zach is the entire reason we won. I shouldn't say the entire reason. Brees and Garrett absolutely went off. The defense was incredible. But Zach didn't have the protection I'd love for him to have. I don't think it was horrible, but I thought Becton was getting cooked pretty often. I thought Hansen on the right-hand side. There was one play on the first sack that Zach took that knocked us out of field goal range. Hansen started out as right guard, wound up like all the way by left tackle, like super funky protection, or at least like where he decided to maneuver over to. Super frustrated. Richard said, yes, Adrian. He got sacked 4 times and pressured, but less than normal. He was outstanding. So less sacks than normal purely because of Zach's athleticism, I feel like. I don't want to say the offensive line had a good day because it didn't feel like that. Adrian says, Rodgers will get killed behind this offensive line. The best thing is to let Wilson at the Canove. This offseason, the Jets need to beef up the offensive line. So I think they will definitely beef up the offensive line. I think you're probably going to see Bakhtiari come in. I think you're going to see them draft a tackle early or a wide receiver. They're going to add a bunch of help on the offensive side. They're not going to let this go sideways. Andrew was at the game. He said, saw this live. This defense is real. They really are. Kelvin getting in the playoff mood. I love it. Radimus says, don't jinx it, Ryan. You shut up. Playoffs bound, baby. Wimmy comes in. Wimmy says, Highway 77 gave up 3 sacks today, only negative with the exception of the fumble. So Becton did not look good. And he probably could have had another 1 or 2 sacks. I thought it was very frustrating to watch him. Blitz Crew, what's up, dude? Thank you so much for the super chat. He says, great win, stinks from a tankathon standpoint, but always better to watch football and enjoy it. Great game by Zack. No idea what his future, but he earned this. Finally, better play calling by Hackett. Yeah, I thought this was Hackett's probably his best play game that was called, I would think, or at least like the best game that he called that players caught passes and Zack performed well and the offensive line protected all right. Like, everything sort of came together a little bit more. And maybe that's, because we're playing more young players. We're playing more Ruckert. We're playing more, I guess we were forced to play Izzy today. I don't know why Dalvin Cook's getting as many touches as he has. It's getting very frustrating to watch consistently. I thought Conklin had a really nice game today. From a tankathon perspective, we were talking about it just a few moments ago. The Jets currently are sitting in the 8th pick. If the Raiders lose today, they would be sitting at the 9th pick. The Jets would be sitting at the 9th pick. We do not have the tiebreaker over Vegas because they have a .500 strength of schedule. We have a .514. So from a tankathon perspective, I still think it's very likely we wind up in the top 10. Not having a top 5 pick is probably going to sting a little bit when you realize how close you were to getting like a Marvin Harrison Jr. or Joe Alt or Olu Fashanu. But just think about the New York Giants from a few years ago. Remember when they won the final game of the season and they wound up missing out on Chase Young, and Chase Young goes to their division rival Washington Commanders? Well, guess what? They got Andrew Thomas that year. Chase Young didn't have his 5th-year option exercised, and the Giants have their franchise left tackle. That can just as easily happen to the New York Jets. There's no guarantee that Marvin Harrison Jr. or Joe Alt or Olu Fashanu are going to be the studs that everyone is projecting them to be right now. It's just projection. You're hoping it based on trends and things like that. And look, these guys look fantastic. But I think when you look at how the draft is and how uncertain everything is, I would love to see whatever will help us more for next year. And if that's winning right now, building a stronger culture, building up the confidence in some of the younger players, and then you wind up drafting someone. Look, the Jets are still drafting J.C. Latham according to this mock draft. This is the number 3 tackle in the draft. He's a 6'6" right tackle out of Alabama. I'd be tickled pink with that. Tickled pink. If you could retain Becton or bring in a Bakhtiari at left tackle, I think you're feeling pretty decent. If you can get Becton back on the cheap, maybe you consider that. But I'm still leaning offensive line in the first round for sure. As far as mock drafts go, right now they have Caleb Williams going 1, Drake May 2 to the Patriots, Harrison Jr. to the Cardinals, Olu Fashanu to Washington, Joe Alt to the Giants, Brock Bowers, the tight end from Georgia, going to Tennessee at 6, Malik Neighbors, the wide receiver from LSU, going to the Bears at 7, Latham, the tackle from Alabama, going to the Jets, and then 1 pick behind us is Jaden Daniels, the Oakland Raiders or Las Vegas Raiders. I'm still kind of down to trade out of a pick if someone's looking to come up for a quarterback. I don't necessarily need to make the pick, inside the top 10, but overall, very happy with how everything wound up going today. And we can deal with the tankathon standings at the end. Still got to make the correct pick. Look, you can have the number 2 overall pick in the draft and you could still make the wrong pick. Proof and point. we drafted Zack when we probably should have traded down last time. So, look, hey, you know what? Can't be counting your chickens. Brandon Harper says, those touchdowns weren't hack. Like 95% sure that was A-Rod. Have seen the Cobb and Gibson touchdowns many, many times in Green Bay. So maybe it wasn't hack and maybe it was Aaron Rodgers calling plays and he's taking some steam off Hackett. I don't know. I'd like to believe it's probably on Hack. The Wedge comes in and says, Buddy Hackett didn't call this game, see or no? I mean, it didn't feel like he called this game. But if he did, I'm feeling happy about it. Gives me some positives. Wimmy says, Ryan, I have an extra ticket for Jets versus Dolphins this Sunday. Come down. I don't live that far from the stadium, but I'm probably not going down. I've spent so much time running around. I'll probably wind up hanging back and doing some stuff here. I want to get the every throw video up. I have to edit it a little bit more because it's getting flagged. I tried to have it up before. If you guys follow me on Facebook at all, it did get posted over on Facebook. So the every throw video up is up over there if you did want to see what Zack looked like today. 1189 Paris. Hey, dude. He says, did anyone notice that our wide receivers didn't drop any passes? Funny since the playing conditions were not good today. Unreal. You look at how many drops we have. I think Zack Wilson is like third or fourth in the league in terms of on-target passes that were dropped. Patrick Mahomes was first at 52, and I think Zach was like 41 or something like that on the season. That was before coming into today's game. Absolutely wild. And considering Zach didn't play 2 games, like that could have very easily been much higher than what it was. Edward Stewart says, keep building the wall. Completely agree. Andrew says, I watched Laken Tomlinson get beat a lot today. Possible cap cut in the offseason. It's possible. I think it depends on if they can get a guard. I would be fine with holding on to Tomlinson into training camp because I don't think there's any trigger on his contract. Let me, before I say that too soon, Laken Tomlinson, yeah, you can cut him at any point and save $8.1 million. So I would wait. I would hold on to him till after June 1st because then you actually wind up saving, if you make him a post June 1st cut, it's $13 million. So if you get a offensive lineman in the draft that you really like, now you're keeping yourself, with some level of backup. But at the same time, you want to be careful. We had so many injuries. Do you really want to get rid of the one offensive lineman? Even if he's not playing like 100% great, I think it's very much improved from last year. But is it worth it to have a body on the line that has been steady and stable for the last 2 years? I think there's lazard some argument there. Blitzcrew comes in, says, drop pass rate helped with lack of Lazard targets. Yeah, if Lazard isn't playing or not getting targets, it's definitely going to go down from a drop perspective. Let's see. We got MetLife Luigi coming in with a call. Let's pull him up now. MetLife Luigi, how you doing, brother?
Doing good. I'm currently in Sea Caucus on my way home from the game. Sorry if I'm a little laggy.
That's all right. It's all right. I understand. How was the weather out there? You guys look like you were getting dumped on.
Oh, weather didn't matter at all. The way that Zack Wilson played, the Jets offense finally we're starting to able to get momentum. The weather didn't matter at all.
That makes me feel good, right? Like, I'm glad the people that there were so many Jet fans that were giving away tickets. You could see how many open seats there were at the stadium. And for the fans that really went out and said, hey, I'm going to this game, I'm supporting this team, to go out and see one of the best games from Zack Wilson is a really cool treat to see. So I give you a lot of props for going in that rain, dude.
Yeah, absolutely, man. I'm sorry that it's breaking up a little bit, or it's probably a little too loud. I just want to say, go Jets. Believe in 2 until 8 comes back, always and forever. Jets, 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 Jets. I'll leave you to it, man. Have a good night, guys.
Thank you so much, Luigi. Appreciate the call. You've been ejected from the cockpit. So look, Luigi was at the game. At the game. I give a lot of props to the fans that went out there. That was not an easy game to sit through, especially through halftime. Like, I'm sure there were a ton of fans that were like, yo, screw this. I'm going home. I'm wet. I'm cold. I'm not seeing any scoring. What's going on? And then to the fans that decided to stick it out. That's why you stay till the end. You always stay till the end. If you're going to pay to go all the way out to a game, you're going to pay for the parking pass, you're going to take all that time out of your day, stay till the end. Stay till the end. What is the worst thing that happens? You sit and you watch a bad game, you hang out, you talk, and you commiserate with the other fans. Misery loves company, my friends. It's okay. Gotta stay till the end. Zachary Berner says, how many backup quarterbacks are playing in the NFL right now, and Stroud should be one? I don't think so, dude. Stroud should not be a backup. Cuca Lake says, Conklin is fun to watch this season. He and Ruckert are a damn good tandem. Yeah. I think I added damn in there, but that's all right. Ruckert is really good. I was high on Ruckert coming into the season. I said, Ruckert, don't be surprised if Ruckert is like option 2 or 3. I thought Corey Davis would be 2, and then once we lost him, I thought it would probably be Garrett, Brees, Conklin as the top 3 with Lazard, chiming in. Very happy with what we're getting out of Conklin. That was a very good signing, I think, by JD. Luigi, love y'all. Stay dry. Get home safe, Luigi. Get home safe. HR says, bye-bye first-round pick. Well, we still have a first-round pick. We're just sitting at pick 8 or 9 right now, depending on how the Raider game goes. But hey, look, there's a lot of games left that we could wind up losing, and I still think I had projected the number 7 pick a few weeks ago. I think 7's probably going to be where we end up. I think we're going to win at least one more game. I mean, the Commanders game and the Patriots games both look winnable. And you look at we just beat the Texans, the number 1 offense in football. Smacked them around. Wasn't even a game. Go home. Like, yo, sorry. Do not pass go. Do not collect $200. You lost to the Jets. Get the hell out of here. I love it. I love it. Oh, see, there's HR. Now he said, I meant first overall. I know what you mean. I don't need the first overall pick, but I very much I'll be honest, I wanted the top 5 pick. I was not cheering for good football, not necessarily a win. This felt good, though. This felt really good. All right, boys and girls, I am going to leave it here. I'm going to go head downstairs. I'm going to go hang out and enjoy this win. I want you guys to go out and enjoy the same. Do the same thing. Sit back, enjoy the win. We earned it. This is Jets Talk signing off. JETS. Welcome to 3 and Out, the interactive NFL game show where viewers like you get to decide which of your favorite content creators get benched and which ones move on in the ultimate competition.
One, two, three.